There you go. All right. Well, welcome everyone to our Parks and Trails April meeting here in Orinoco. So what I'm gonna do first is just go ahead and say who is here. So Justin is to my right. I am Katie. Lance is going to try to zoom in, but might be late. So if you guys can just keep an eye out, Ryland and Jason, if you see Lance trying to join in up there. Paul is back here. And then, Ryland is present, our mayor. So I don't know if you found that out, but Ryland is our mayor and gets to run computer. And then Kevin is here to my left, and he said that he is willing to be a real member and of our committee. And to be honest, I didn't look it up, like if we have to vote for him to be an official member or not, but I guess we look at that later. I don't know.
Exactly.
Do we need to vote for Kevin to be an official member, or can we just welcome
What
him?
we should do is make a motion to recommend to council that he be approved for the park.
I make a motion to recommend Kevin to be a member of our committee.
I will second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Where is Lance when I did that right, or did I miss something?
You got witnesses.
Right, right? Oh my gosh, okay,
So just
All
send
right.
a note, send an email to Renee,
okay,
asking her to add that to the agenda.
sounds good. Awesome. All right, and then we have city park staff, John Huey. Is that how you pronounce it?
Huey, yeah.
Yeah.
Huey.
Awesome. And then our city administrator, Jason Baker. Awesome. Okay, our guest today is, I don't have my phone out, but I believe Kristen Levesque.
Yes,
All right. And Kristen, can you tell us where you're from?
sure. I am I live in Rochester. I'm kind of coming here on behalf of our leadership of Greater Rochester Community Impact Project Group. So it's kind of within my slides here, but the Greater Leadership of Rochester Chamber comes together and they have a leadership group. It's a cohort that happens every year. I'm in the 2024 graduate cohort, and there are two kind of teams that kind of pair up and do these community impact projects. I don't know if my first cohort was seen here at all, perhaps, but I'm of the second group, so.
Doesn't sound familiar to me. When would that have been? Last year or several years ago?
I wasn't sure because I had a feeling that they were working with Orinoco as well, but I could be incorrect. So they are working on communication boards for the schools. So they might be working more with maybe the school district and not necessarily parks.
And that would be, would they go? Because Pine Island does have Olmsted County.
I believe
So. they could be
so.
Up there.
Yeah, I think this is the first year that a leadership of Greater Rochester cohort is kind of expanded beyond just Rochester. So turns out both of our groups, that was a really, big factor for both of us. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is us saying who is here. Do we have any additions? I can't even speak right. Additions to our agenda that are not on the agenda that we need to add at this time? Okay. I'm not hearing any at this time. I am gonna move the agenda just a little bit to help Kristen out. I have Kristen listed under Orinoco Parks, but Ryland, you can stay the whole time, right? Can you stay the whole time today? What?
I have to.
Could you?
It's a long game.
Please?
Second.
We're not gonna be here long. We're gonna talk really fast. I'm just asking because I wanna put Kristen next. Up here on the agenda. And I apologize, where did I share one with you? I don't think I gave you guys an agenda, so I'm sorry.
No, but that's okay. And I can wait too if you want.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, because we have to work that. Okay, anyway, so the next thing is March meeting minutes approval, and I did send those out, and I don't know if people got a chance to look at it or not. But it is right here. So, you didn't see them? Okay, and Kevin, did you see them?
I thought I did, but I don't have a copy of them right now, but
Okay. So I believe you have one in your email, so if you see something that needs to be changed, I'm just,
yeah.
we're just gonna try to approve those at this time, or we could wait too. Until April, or what is this, April? We could wait till May. We want to? Or do you think it's fine? You weren't here, so you didn't get to review the minutes to know if you like them or not, because you weren't here. You didn't get to come. And then John, I guess, you know what? I didn't send them to you either. What, I don't know, right?
I mean,
What email do you look at?
well, at work, it'd be, if you're gonna send it jhuey, jhuey@orinoco.com.
Okay, thank you. And Kane did give me your cell number today, so I could message you later so that you
Yeah,
have
that's
mine.
fine.
And is he kind of having you, I thought it was gonna rotate between you and John, but,
Yeah, I know
What do you
John
think?
had some obligations tonight. I know he asked John and
okay,
so. But it's.
but you're okay if I communicate? Now, when I communicate, okay, see, this is where it gets complicated when you're in a small town. Okay, so Ryland, am I allowed to email him, Renee and Kane, or do I just need to email John stuff, or what do you think?
I would say you could email him, or you
Right,
Yeah.
different things, like,
don't need to blind copy him because he's not a committee member,
right, okay,
but you can just,
okay, if I have questions or things I wanna send them. Okay, thank you,
you can always copy Kane too, that's no.
right? Okay, So-
And Lance joined.
yay, so he's on here? All right, fantastic. Welcome, Lance. Thank you. Okay, so at this time, I would like to introduce Kristen to be able to do her presentation. So Ryland's gonna get that up, and I'm glad that Lance is here to see it. All right,
If you click on that PowerPoint, you won't be able to down one. Oh, there we go, perfect. Changing it, yep, excellent,
And Here,
yep. And you can just leave it as the slides if you want like that, or,
there you go.
how to move that bar down. There.
You can probably minimize that bar.
If I turn that so you can see it from your perspective.
right.
No, that's, yeah, it's kind of on, yeah, I think you're already sharing, maybe not.
It's your sharing screen.
Yeah, it does. You're good,
See that?
all right,
Okay, yeah,
yep.
Great.
I have a Jason.
yeah, I'm good.
So if you wanna just go to that second slide there, yep. So just some introduction, I kind of already gave it to you. I can't not stand up, I'm sorry.
Right, do you wanna put it in a slideshow, or did I miss that it wasn't working?
It's fine the way it is. I think the slideshow is technically like on the far right corner. I just
Yeah,
can't see
this will
the screen, but that'll work.
This works great, thank
Okay.
you.
So, the Leadership of Greater Rochester has been around since 1987, and it's a program that propels leaders in the community to further be inspired, connected, and enlightened. So this year's cohort of 40 individuals had the opportunity to learn about the community within the Greater Olmsted County and participate in a community impact project. So each group, and there are 2 of us, comes up with their own project based on data received about the county. So then if you wanna click to the next slide. So what we did on one of our first meetings was a data walk. So we gathered data from various points around Olmsted County through their transportation, health, their top community priorities, inclusiveness and demographics. So these are all things that Olmsted County kind of does in their survey every year. And what we found that our group really hit home with our group was that the 2022 Olmsted County Community Health Needs Assessment identified that as the community health priorities, we'll be prioritizing for the next 3 years, mental health, drug use, and access to care. So the top 3 biggest concerns from residents on health were 66% depression, anxiety, or other mental health related challenges. 61% said they had social isolation, and 61 also they wanted support for people with mental health challenges. So that really spoke to my team's group there. So if you want to go to the next slide. So what we had kind of originally talked about and planned was we wanted to do something in the sector of mental health. A lot of us wanted to do some sort of communication where we could get out there to the larger group of individuals. And we really liked an idea of using some sort of like QR code. And through our research with other towns around and states around, we found that a lot of people are putting in some mental health walks. When we have to present this numerous times in our LGO, our cohort, and at one of such sessions, we were introduced to the Olmsted County Public Health that has already started partnering with a source called Credible Mind and launched a digital platform that helps people with their mental health and well-being. So this kind of really fit in with our niche of wanting to do something that was kind of digital. And the platform is already going. It's already housed by credible experts. And so we kind of formed a partnership with Olmsted County. You can go to the next slide. So what our community impact project currently entails is we're creating a sustainable digital marketing tool. This will be develop and populate a digital marketing toolkit for the Olmsted County Public Health. And the draft of that is up in the right-hand corner of the slide there. And our goal for that is to really focus on small business and employer colleges and schools. So we're going to develop printed material, but it's going to live also digitally so that if an employer or like students or staff want to pull that information down and hand out flyers, it'll be there for future to come. And then our other kind of deliverable is we want to design and purchase and install 6 physical signs promoting mental health topics that can also point to that Olmsted County and Credible Mind resources. And so that's where I'm kind of coming in tonight with that physical aspect. So if you could go to the next slide. Thank you. So our group of individuals really value individualism and wanting to also ensure that we are inclusive. So with the inclusivity and with Olmsted County, they really wanted us to ensure that we had English, Spanish, and Somali on our signs because that's kind of the main population in Olmsted County. The platform has experts and vetted resources that you can use, and it has articles, it has videos, self-assessments, podcasts. So that kind of speaks to that individualism where, one right fit for every person. So not everyone likes the same type of media. Some people want to just listen. Some people want to take an assessment. It gives them a way to kind of personalize it for themselves. So with the signs, we really wanted to reach out. Like I said, we're one of the only cohorts that have done this, where we're actually trying to expand not just Rochester, but focus on the greater Olmsted County. And so with that, we chose 6 cities within Olmsted to put our signs. And so that's why I'm here tonight, is asking if you would be willing and interested in putting one of those signs in your park. And I didn't realize how many parks you had because I went and visited the Orinoco Park and walked around and kind of looked at different areas there, and it's really beautiful. And I love the trail system, and I love how you can see the old Lake Shady. I've actually done a lot of canoeing trips down from Pine Island down to the Orinoco Lake Landing, which, by the way, looks really nice. I love the fun little rapids to go through. Love shooting that. It's like one of my favorite things to do. So, maybe I could look at various other parks now that I know there's quite a bit more. But I do really like that Orinoco Park One of our templates, what we're planning on doing is the sign here kind of pictured in the blue. You can see that it has English, Spanish, and Somali. That will be the various languages. And then in the middle is kind of our, right now, what we're planning on using. So when we were talking with our LGR cohort, they suggested that we have some sort of factoid on there to really like draw people in. And so one of the things we chose, just a fact, but also could be practiced, is there's this new concept out there called forest bathing. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but there's a lot of people in Olmsted County, as well as partnering with the Eagle Bluff Nature Center that are getting certified. And this is practice in the Japanese culture, which is basically just being one with nature. I think we're all very used to the electronics and we're all super plugged in. And I don't remember the study or how long ago it was, but they had these kind of similar issues in Japan, and they kind of pulled back and said, what do people really need? It's the outdoors, it's disconnecting, it's, you know, thinking about Mother Nature, it's listening, it's hearing, it's smelling. And so that's what we want to put on the sign. Now, not all of the parks that we are going to put this in probably have that woodsy area, but the invitation is there to just be with nature, set your phones down, enjoy life. So when I was walking around the Orinoco Park, I did notice you do have a really pretty trail that does weave into the woods there. And so I don't know if that's something where you would decide necessarily where that potential sign could be located, but I kind of already have a few ideas with like maybe one of those beginning sections of the trail. So that's just kind of my 2 cents there. So we do have we are endorsed approval for that sign through the Olmsted County. And we have all of our kind of research done in that aspect. So we're just kind of looking for if you guys are interested and if we could work with you on potential placement. Our timeline for this would be most likely end of May, beginning of June so far, is kind of what we have. Any questions?
Yeah, what would you ask of the city? I would imagine you guys would pay for the sign making.
Yep, so we'll pay for the sign, we'll pay for the installation of the sign. I am still kind of determining with Olmsted County. They had made mention that they might be interested in being our sustainable partner, meaning ensuring that the sign is looking all nice and is still in good condition. So I'm still in talks with them. So my hope is that we could just leave it to Olmsted County and then they could work with somebody. If somebody else is willing to take that on, I'm sure we would be open to that as well.
Yeah, just keep an eye on it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna do our best. We're gonna provide some UV protection to it. We're gonna try and make it, you know, an easy, simple installation. But, you know, if something were to happen to it, graffiti and things like that, we hope to leave some money behind that it could be replaced. Yeah.
So is it just this one sign that looks like this one up here in the middle?
Yes, that's correct. Yep. Right now, depending on funding, we could do more. We're just trying to hit the surrounding communities. And then if we do have more, I think the premise would be actually going a few more places in Rochester just because it's so densely packed. And currently we just have it budgeted for 1 per town.
Do you have an idea how big the sign is going to be?
Yes, it'll be, so I know here it kind of looks weird because it looks the wrong way. We're hoping to do it more of the long way that you see in the blue. And it's 2 foot by 3 foot or 3 by 2.
Oh, so it's not really big.
Correct, yeah.
So we had 2 posts.
Yes, it would be either on 2 posts or we've got 2 companies so far that we're kind of looking at. One is a post, super solid, Chad Tracy here in town. And another one is just one of those U posts that you just pound in, kind of like the stop sign. I don't know what those, you know, metal U bracket things. Yeah.
Would that be with Chad Tracy too, or?
That one is Fast Signs in Rochester. Yeah.
Could you tell me, I see Orinoco, Byron, Stewartville, I would imagine Rochester counts as one of the 6, and then which Which two are those over there?
Eota and Dover,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
Just out of curiosity's sake. So a while back, the Zumber Watershed Partnership put some signs in our parks. I believe they're in 3 parks. Orinoco, Alice, and River.
There were 6 of them.
Are they in 6?
Yeah, right. They were provided by the LCCMR. And those were kiosks. You probably saw the kiosk.
I did see, yep. Mhm.
Those were installed probably 5, 6 years ago, something like that.
Which 6 are they in?
Riverwood, no. River Park, Orinoco. There's only 3, I see.
Alice Memorial.
I-
Would it be River Park?
Right.
Or Park and down by, do you got one down by the river? Down by the little dam, Ellis?
Park.
Yeah, and Lance was saying Memorial Park, but I don't think we have one there.
Where?
I think we only put it by the river, not by Memorial Park. Just Alice, Orinoco, and River Park.
Where do you call it, Memorial Park?
Oh, by Tilly's?
Oh,
Yeah, by Tilly's.
what about the big park up behind the Presbyterian Church? It's.
Carol College.
I forget where they're at.
All right. I would say that you guys,
Chad Tracy made this too.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah. So I would imagine that I would agree with Orinoco Park as well, being the one that would be the best to target in our city. Does anyone else have anything else?
I don't know, I guess if, I don't know, I know you're gonna probably go with, I don't know, possibly the least expensive on the design or whatever, but I don't know if it'd be an option just to have Shad do ours. I mean, that
Sure,
separate, you know, just
yeah.
bring it, I think that in and of itself is just a thought, just an idea.
No, absolutely. One of the things that we are hoping to do, if you can tell kind of on the bottom, we've got, I guess it's not in this one. The blue, on the blue, there's like sign, sponsors. And so we're really hoping to entice maybe at least one sponsor from every community, as well. So that way they could be on the sign as part of an advertisement for them. But also, you know, being within the community, I think that's a really great, you know, kind of another little tip your hat kind of thing,
Sure,
right?
yep, yep.
So, absolutely, you know, I think with trying to decide, it's trying to figure out how much money we can raise. And then from there, for the signs, you know, I mean, you are correct, Shad might be slightly more expensive than fast signs. But we do wanna have, you know, we're thinking for sustainability too, that we want to, there's 2 points to that, right? Like Shad Tracy signs probably will outlast just because they are probably more expensive and a little bit more heavy duty. But we also want to think about the idea of leaving some funds for, you know, if we need to do some sort of replacement as well. So we just have to really try and figure out how much funding we can get in, before we can figure out what sort of funds we could have left over for making sure that we can still give some for that sustainability piece.
If there was to be a second park or a second location, I would say someplace in our park right around the building here too, which is downtown, exposed to a lot of people as well. So I think if there's funds for a second one, that'd probably be my suggestion.
Okay, no, that's great. And, you know, this is something
It's
that.
not by the woods, but it's just exposure to it.
Yes, exactly. And really that's what it's there for. The factoid on it, I know some people get kind of hung up on like there has to be woods by it, but it's really just meant to, you know, give some knowledge of, hey, there's this practice out there. The one QR code at the top is to link you to the actual practice of forest bathing, but then the larger one on the bottom will link you to the Olmsted County resource page.
And knowing how QR codes are used now, would have been nice to have those back on the signs.
Yeah,
6
years ago.
too, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay, so I would like to make a motion to support a sign being placed at Orinoco Park through the Leader Greater Rochester.
Yeah, leadership of Greater Rochester.
How do I say that? LGR. Would anyone like to second
Second
that?
that.
motion? Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, fantastic. All right, so Kristen, you'll just keep in touch with us how the progress goes. What's gonna happen here is we're gonna send a motion or information to the city council to just let them know that we have agreed to work with you on putting a sign at Orinoco Park.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome, and you're welcome to stick around or
Listen to her.
Yeah.
scoot. I don't know how you had your information in there.
Oh, yeah, that's
Do
a
you have a
good point.
USB or
I
anything?
do, yep.
So,
Don't want to forget that. Some
yeah,
valuable
we'll let you go with the
information on it.
USB. I love it.
Email.
Yeah, you can go ahead and close that one now. Oh. Huh. Oh, you know what? That box that's down below that you kind of scooted away, try and scoot that back up. Yeah, and then hit the close the PowerPoint like you did before. Yeah, I bet you that'll do it. There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and then remove the hardware, maybe?
Yep.
Down here? Like
arrow.
that. I don't know
The
which.
USB port,
There
there
it
you go.
is. There you go.
And then eject USB to.
Oh, you guys are so nice. I just rip it out.
Right? I love it. I love it. Okay.
That's probably true. Hasn't failed me yet.
Right? I love it. Okay, so, I'm not sure that we finished approving the March
Thank you.
minutes. Are we okay with the
Yeah.
March minutes? Does anyone wanna make a motion to approve them, or do we wanna wait until May when people have had more time to look at it? Right? You didn't see it.
I just looked through my emails.
You don't see your email, it's not from today though, but it's okay.
Back through early March.
Yes, so I'm gonna, should I waive? No, what do I wanna say? We're just gonna wait till April, May to do March and April at the same time.
That'd be fine.
And I'll send it to everybody a couple times so that you can make sure you see it. Okay. Moving on, so. Ryland, are you ready to do a Zumbro Water Trail
Yeah, I can
update, please?
go through those items. So Zumbro Regional Water Trail is still, right now, this spring, we'll start talking to our stakeholders within the 4 counties and the cities about looking at a joint powers board. And so I'm updated a lot of my email Outlook contacts so we can send an email out. Hopefully have a Teams meeting yet in April sometime. Kind of bring everybody update. We had a meeting last November, probably, so now that we have we're in the appropriations bill for our $170,000. We have some questions that they're asking, the LCCMM board staff is asking for some more clarification of the work plan and details, and I've been working with SEH Engineering. And so we need to bring the stakeholders up to bring those people up to date with what we got and what we need to go forward with, so. I'm also looking at the potential for hiring a pro bono attorney to help us with the bylaw. Reached out to a county attorney, and he said that he was not available, so we're looking at somebody else now too, so.
Okay.
That's probably the 2 biggest things, is to try and find a pro bono attorney to do the bylaws, so.
Alright. Nice, and when will the April meeting be determined? Probably, when will the April meeting be determined,
I'm working on it this week.
right? The last, when you met,
Sometime last 2 weeks in April.
okay, cause when you met in November, you were probably at People's Co-op, or were you here?
Well, Teams, it's not in person.
Oh, it's online,
Yeah, it's online, virtual, yeah.
okay,
That's what we've done, we had one meeting
Yes.
several years ago, the person, but now we.
Okay, that's
do everything
nice.
By teams, so.
Yeah, that way people don't have to travel for the meeting. Fantastic. Okay. Thanks for giving me, you guys said there was some, I don't have anything else I have to bring to council already besides the sign, right?
Right, everything was approved that you'd asked for in the recommendations,
Okay.
the funds for the flowers and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, so for reviewing the city council minutes, I watched from afar and I was pleased to see that we have porta potties coming and the money that we requested for the plants was approved. And I believe that was $750. I think I was incorrect in the number of planters that we have, because there are 4 planters here. And Lance, do you know, are there 2 or 3 down at Alice?
3,
We have 7 altogether.
I believe so.
All right. So between,
But I could be wrong.
Lance, are you willing to work with Dawn and I on ordering those plants? For the planters, or is that's probably, the planter plants is something we just go to a nursery and get, right?
Yes,
And we wouldn't do that till like Mother's Day time.
right.
Mid-May. All right, so instead of reviewing budget materials, John brought us a wonderful Parks and Trails list, and I think this is very similar to what a review budget materials would be. For Lance's benefit, would you like me, John, would you like me to read this, or would you?
Go ahead, yeah, it's fine, yeah.
Okay, and put my teacher voice on. Okay, this is amazing, by the way, John. Thank you for bringing this to us. So, what it says is that for Riverwood Hills, paving the trail, playground border replacement, creating designated parking, and then a shelter. And before I continue, these are like all ideas for the parks, right? Versus
So
actually
that's kind
happening.
of just what, you know, some of the stuff we talked about last week or last month, whatever. It's just all kind of summarized on this.
I love it.
Kane and I and John sat down for a few minutes. Just come up with this, so.
Perfect, perfect. And this will help Dawn out as well if she's able to watch the recording later. So River Park also has playground border replacement, fishing access, crack fill and chip seal trail and parking lot. Orinoco Park has updating bathroom facilities, seal well access, or seawall access. It is really seawall. Seawall access, paved path and ADA accessible. Highway 52 pedestrian fence on the west side. Camping facilities, water, sewer, electric, gated access. Now, would that be more for the campground or for the whole park?
Well, I think it's been
We
talked about
talked
for a long. I know money's, it's a big thing, but. It was talked about for the entrance to the park. Yeah.
Right, okay,
One way or another, I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one just because,
yeah,
you know, ideally you could have a sliding or a gate system of some sort, but. It's not gonna be cheap, you know, so.
no,
But it was just an idea that made it there, so.
I like it, okay. Fishing pier, update baseball diamond, that'd be cool. Heard you, Lance, what are you saying?
No, I just, never mind. It just struck me as odd.
Because it's been laid dormant for so long, right?
Well, it's a river now. It's not a lake, so a fishing pier really doesn't do anything.
Oh, so that's what you're commenting on. Okay, so fishing pier for a river, you would question.
Yeah,
Outdoor covered storage, mulch, dirt, gravel. And playground border replacement. Carroll County Park, the parking lot, would you guys like actually put blacktop on there or something, or what do you say for parking lot? Carroll County Park, yeah,
Probably just gravel, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if nothing else, just it's not really much of anything up there right now. It's just kind of
Okay.
probably for sure gravel to start with, you know, and
I mean, it kind of exists, but it might not be obvious.
yeah, it's pretty ratty, whatever it is. I mean, you know, it's all sunken, whatever. If there was any of a rock there, you can't hardly tell anymore, so. I
Okay,
mean, even a couple loads of gravel, whatever would be an improvement of. So,
okay. As I'm reading on, this is neat stuff. Replace the homemade Frisbee golf equipment. Put a shelter in, and then John, can you expand on electricity and water utilities? I suppose that would be by a shelter?
well, yeah, that was, like I said, this was all kind of going over it with Kane and John and just spitballing, but if it were ever to have like, say, picnic tables, and someone was gonna have hold a family reunion up there, you're gonna wanna have at least some sort of power, you know, if it's just on a 4x4, a couple of outlets, you know, so you can plug stuff in, or let's say you got some crock pots or something, you know.
Does River
Just-
Park have electricity at the gazebo?
I don't know.
In River Park.
River Park,
Yeah, they used
Does-
to have power on that, but I don't know after the floods. It seems like they've kind of redone that gazebo a little bit or done some maintenance to it, and I don't know if there's power down there, but I don't know if they still have an outlet in there,
I
you
do
know,
believe.
they could very well.
That's not the same gazebo that Clark had down there years ago,
No,
is it?
this was something that kind of got built right after,
I know, I don't know.
Cause I remember years ago going back down in there before the houses were all there,
yeah.
and Donnie had a
Donnie?
gazebo back there back in
Yeah.
there one time.
that was just a tin roof.
Yeah,
That all it was, yeah.
yeah. But they, no, I can't remember if it's the scouts or whoever put that
Mm.
gazebo together down there.
Okay.
And I do remember we got power down there, the transformer's there, and so we got power, there's an outlet I know in that gazebo, or there always was.
Mhm.
And so I think that that's a good thing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, same sort of thing, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. But as far, you know, even a shelter could be as simple as that, a gazebo, you know, I mean, it wouldn't need to be much, but.
yeah, at
You know.
Carroll County. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the community center, they have crack fill and chip seal basketball court. Playground border replacement pickleball court equipment. So what does that mean? To rent or something? Pickleball court equipment.
Well, I don't think there's a whole lot of equipment involved in a pickleball court, so like maybe rackets. I would imagine most people who play pickleball have their own stuff anyhow.
What were you saying to encourage
Um,
people here at the basketball courts?
Yeah,
That may be
the
the
idea. Yeah, yeah.
Interesting, okay.
You're looking at the net. anyway.
It's, yeah, net, I mean.
Yeah, there's no markings on that court for
It's,
that.
no, it would mean, yeah, it need to be painted, markings obviously, and I don't know, that stuff is taking off like
It is,
wildfire for
it's-
some reason.
It's that big, people
just
play different
insane.
parking lot.
Yeah, it's all over the place, cause they play it in Florida like nonstop, all day, every day, all day.
That our basketball court can handle with a net in there somewhere? Or is it just not being used enough for real basketball games and the net wouldn't be in the way?
Just like River Park. there's a
Yeah.
whole basketball court and the pickleball playing, so.
Yeah,
What were you gonna say, Kevin?
No, I agree. You should be able to accommodate both.
mhm.
Now, in this neighborhood, we don't need a fence like the fence we have at River Park. Or would we want a fence around the basketball? What are you thinking, Lance?
Well, if you're gonna use a pickleball court, you're gonna need a fence.
Okay, even if it is flat grass, not weeds. Around it.
Well, it's a hard surface. It has to be a hard surface, so. I mean, are you talking about just a secondary use of the current basketball
Yes.
space?
Yes.
Or are you thinking about putting a new hard surface down on the, like, down below?
Right, just using the same basketball court.
Use the existing one, Lance.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was asking, is it
Yep.
you just repurposing the basketball space and making it a pickleball, which is probably, it'll tick off the young kids, but might be fine for the old farts.
I don't know if you'd even have to go all the way around it.
No,
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 It just has to have backstops like it does at River Park where, so it doesn't go off.
So that's something to think about when you guys talk about that, right? Okay. All right. Garden Park, continue trail improvements there. I would like to officially thank Justin Bocamp for being so good at taking care of the trails that are there right now. And then the parking facilities did get wrecked during the wastewater project, so that would be nice if those could get fixed up. And then garden facilities, raised beds would be pretty fancy, and permanent fencing would be nice. Is that water hooked up? John, do we know? There is water there. Did that get
You're talking about the,
Garden Park?
The hydrant.
yeah, there's a hydrant down there that, sure it's live, if not, it could be made live real quick.
So-
That never really gets shut off, does it? It's an
No,
underground hydrant.
right, right, I'm sure, well, it's got a quick stop
It's
somewhere.
locked. It's locked, or it was locked anyway.
Yeah, so, but it's one where people could hook up a hose or put their pail of water. Okay, so that the water's still available. Okay. Whoa, what's Three Willows? What's that?
That's something Kane and John know more about than me, I'm not entirely, up to speed on that one.
So Lance, on the second page here, they have Oaks on Third. So maybe they can't, it's kind of nice. So it says Three Willows, lake bed access with mowed trails and parking spaces. So do you know what they're talking about, Lance?
I have no clue.
I'm liking it though.
Is over on First Place Northwest.
Yeah,
So Three Willows is the one that used to have a house on it?
Could be, I'm not sure.
yeah,
It's a small lot, it's in between a couple of houses and the city mows it.
right,
Oh, yeah, sure, that's,
on the lake.
that's, we used to call it the Third Street Park, but
Well, we have Oaks on Third still.
yeah, that's the one.
So Three Willows
That's
must be
Oaks
on
on
First
Third.
Place.
This is lake bed access, is that where they're driving down underneath the bridge on 52?
No, it's on the west side of it's on the west side of Lake Shady Frontage Road.
I think it's called First Place.
is it off that little, when you go in there and you take the goat trail back along there where those few houses are? Where they just
Yeah.
finally paved
Yeah.
that trail,
Like
they did
four houses.
set
there.
water back in there?
Oh, okay.
The
The
city mows
Riverwood
it.
Trail, or which one is that?
No, when you go into, I forget the.
Stokes Cove.
It's Stokes Cove,
Yeah,
yeah.
Stokes
Yeah,
Cove.
Stokes Cove, that's what it's for.
So Three willow trees must have survived at Stokes Cove. I love it, okay. All right, yeah, we have not made that an official thing for people to know about, and which is the same with Oaks on Third. So like you said, Jen, these are ideas that, are really great, I love it. Okay,
John, is there an actual access over there that I kind of between houses or something?
yeah, it gets mowed, it gets cleaned up, and I think it's just kind of open down to the old riverbed.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
not, I don't know if, cause I never mowed it last year, I've never been over there with them more, I don't think there's anything that takes it out to water, like, as far as a trail or anything.
Sure. Okay.
The Oaks on Third, that was always too wet, so it was hard to maintain.
Mhm.
and right now it's too muddy, because they just tore it up on Thursday. It's a mess.
Good for them.
I know, we'll see how it grows back. Okay, so Memorial Field. Replace infield material, replace update fencing, bleachers and a pavilion. Additional parking on site, irrigation system and a trail system. So the irrigation system, would that help the trees that are there and the grass surrounding the baseball field? Or what do you think they mean by irrigation system?
I think that's a wish list thing that,
It's a dream.
It's
Yes,
it's infield with grass and
yeah.
sand for path or for the, around the bases.
Right? Okay. I love it. All right.
And the outfield.
What's that?
And the outfield too, as far as irrigation.
Yes. Now, I wonder with what, so for Oaks on Third, Lance, I wonder how wet it's gonna be if they've changed the, I don't know, not really topography, but what do you think, John? You're shaking your head.
I think it's
Think
gonna
it's
be
still gonna be
exactly
too
as it
wet?
always was. It's just gonna be, it'll have to be dressed up and they'll finish, grade it back, probably hydro seeded, I'm sure, back, but
Okay,
it's gonna be the same thing it always was.
okay.
Really change anything.
It's a green space. Maybe it could be a dog park.
Yeah, perfect dog park.
You've been talking about a dog park possibility at Riverwood Hills. Too, it's just Oaks on Third and Riverwood Hills would both need a fence to do that, but yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
My yard looks like a dog park.
Oh, if you have a dog visiting or what?
There are a lot of people that go by and they don't clean
Plenty
up.
of bags.
They do it along that
I was
side.
gonna say, I keep up on those bags,
A lot of
so.
that's clean up.
I know it.
Oh, Lance.
There's
look at
one
you
area
guys
down there, and comes up into your yard that they
You know
don't.
who it is? Just take it back to them.
I
Oh,
don't know.
all right, this is being
I've done that.
recorded now.
I have too.
Oh my gosh,
Say, come and get it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so they are dreaming, Lance, at Oaks on Third. Saying trail improvements, extension to Memorial Field and Riverwood Hills. Parking facilities, shelter, picnic structure. So we'll see how that progresses in the years here.
That sounds like a real wish list. There's a whole lot more important stuff to do in the parks than that, personally.
Yeah,
But
Well, there's no parking over there. I mean, how
Right.
would you-
no.
It's just a green space and I'm fine with that.
probably the best thing it could ever be here is.
Yeah. Agree.
well, the man living next door to it, who stores campers,
Mhm.
he had talked about selling. But I believe is he township,
Yes.
right? So wild. Township and city all next to each other. But at any rate, okay, Alice Park. Trail extension to lake bed and canoe landing and garden park. Fishing pier again. Now, Lance, would you feel like a fishing pier would be better at Alice Park?
That's a river.
Well,
So
I'll withhold my comment because I don't think it's important, but
part of that got brought up because the young guy, that kid that was here last time was kind of belly aching that he couldn't fish. He was getting tangled up in the weeds everywhere. So
That's river fishing.
it was right. Yeah, it is what it is, but that's kind of what that stems from. So.
I mean, I could see building a pier that's
Right,
next to
yeah,
the river.
5x5 deck for him to stand out on or something, maybe nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy that, if it washes away in a flood, it's no big deal, I mean.
Well, the river's changed so much over the year and just
It's a big deal, but yeah, still.
below the running.
Well, and then the next line, Lance, does talk about ADA accessible path to the portage. So that's not there now. And then even a shelter for a picnic area there too. But, it is curious because I think at River Park, yeah, so we have fishing access written down at River Park. And the trails at Orinoco Park, I think they go to the water pretty decent.
Yeah.
So that's, can be considered access, but okay, that's awesome. Okay, and then we have 8 more things I get to say. I'm excited about this. Okay, Orinoco Park Master Plan to include trail extensions connecting parks east and west sides of the city, Douglas Trail and Pine Island Schools. Trail improvements, no more gravel. Pedestrian bridges in lake bed. Water and sewer utilities. Update existing playground equipment. A dog park mentioned again at Orinoco Park. A veterans memorial there, that'd be nice. And then replace Orinoco Park garage with larger building to house Parks Department. Nice. Okay, so these are amazing ideas and things to think about, and I'm assuming I can include these in our minutes. Okay, So, fantastic. Okay. So, moving on. Lance, you're planting trees to plant, right, for EAB replacement and so on?
Yes.
So that's fantastic. And then, Ryland, what's the latest on DOT news near Highway 52?
There's a letter there in front of you,
Oh, yeah, I can pass this out.
copies of a letter that I've been talking with the lady over at MnDOT. The letter kind of explains, it's still waiting for the DOT commissioner to respond to identifying what the, market value is, and it's also at the same time respond to the question about seeing if they'll give us a contract by deed to clarify that's used for public purposes only. So hopefully we'll hear something by the 1st of May or sometime in May is what the letter said. But the letter also, but the email also has some wording on a letter that they would like to have us review.
Oh,
And so I explained to Heather Luke, whose contact I have at MnDOT, to the council or have it run by the Trails and Parks Committee and make a recommendation or any changes, whatever, to the council so we can review the April meetings. So the italicized is what is being proposed in the letter. So you can read through it. I don't know if you got it, I sent it to you last Wednesday, so I don't know if you had a chance to share it with everybody else.
no, Kevin's shaking his head about
I'm just
something.
getting real angry about this. This conveying of making the city buy this property. This is just ridiculous. I'm just fed up with it, because I mean, I dealt with this back when the flood happened. I thought we had it conveyed. MnDOT was all on, and even there were some guys there that were working, and now they wanna come back and they wanna charge us and make us pay for property that they tore through our city and build a highway, and then they want us to buy. I don't get it. I'm just, frankly, I just irritates me.
Not only that, Kevin, that they required people to move off the lake bed on this side of the
But
highway
yeah,
to run that northbound lane through there.
they bought that property just so that they could do that. So for us to be forced to buy any property back is, in fact, it's in my, yeah, I'm sorry, I get so darn worked up, but it's just
Buy
like,
it for $1 because it's
Yeah.
not worth anything else.
well, I know it.
Yeah.
So the reason they want us to buy it is because they use bonding money to buy the land. And so to get it off the property, off of Minnesota Management Bureau's books, you have to pay, you have to buy it at market value to get the funding back that they used for the bonding.
The market value for swampland is.
Yeah. It's,
So that's,
yeah, well, and he's got a point. I mean, there's nothing we can do with it other than make it a nice walking park that we can come under the bridge and walk through, but other than that, it's not like we're gonna,
Yeah,
I don't
put a
know,
housing development out
so
there.
no,
if you read through the letter, they're gonna put the fence in
okay?
at their cost. So that's $60,000-$70,000 if that's the going price for a fence for 1,500 feet of Minnesota DOT spec fence. So they've agreed to do that. The fair market value it's landlocked, there's no access. So I wouldn't expect, I don't know what that figure is. I'm sure it's a non-negotiable number. But, we'll find out here what it's gonna be. So,
Did they say how soon we'd know?
she says sometime in May, I think is what she's, last time.
Well, I guess, at least for now, I guess there's nothing we can do until I find that out, and then I can see how the court flows.
How many acres is it? Is it considered acres or what are we talking about?
Yeah, I wanna say it's because there's 3 spots. There's the 2 peninsulas. And then there's another piece on the north side of the bridge or north side of the river going up to the intersection just across the street from Orno online auctions.
Yeah, the hole down in there.
There's a triangle piece in there, so.
Okay. All right, well, so your request was to ask if we agree with how this letter is written to present it to city
The
council.
recommendation to the council.
Okay, so I mean, at this time, I would make a, well, I shouldn't be making all the motions. Paul, you wanna make the motions? Just kidding. I don't think it matters if I make all the motions, does it? Just to keep things moving along, I would like to make a motion to have this. I don't know what I'm saying, Ryland.
Just I recommend to approve the letter being proposed by MnDOT for the purchase of the property of the peninsulas.
Or are we approving that we've seen the letter,
You're looking at it.
right? I mean, what are we?
That's the verbiage. This is the verbiage that they want us to approve. How the letter will be written based on what's italicized here. That's the body of the letter, I guess I'm saying.
Written to the state or
To
something?
MnDOT. It'd be from. It's a letter to summarize the steps for MnDOT and the city of Orinoco regarding the conveyance of the Lakes Shady Peninsulas.
Okay,
So can I ask a question then? Or you haven't gotten to that point yet, sorry.
I would like to open this up for more discussion, please.
But you gotta have it seconded.
I mean, okay,
Are we seconding?
that we're reviewing, that this letter should go to the council.
Okay, I will second this letter should go to
Okay.
the council.
Any further discussion?
Well, okay, my question is, why does the Parks Committee, I mean, is it because it's gonna be Parks land, or is it's gonna be city land? So why are we involved at all?
Lance, if I can speak to it.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I think it's because it's the Parks Committee, it's part of the Parks and Trail system.
Okay, all right,
It's part of the
All right.
parks.
that's fine. I just wanted to clarify that it actually is part of a Parks deal and not some other public works property that we really don't have any authorization over.
No, no, the one thing I'd like to add, though, you brought up a good point there, Lance, is even though this is part of the parks, I can assure you that if we're talking about buying back land, whatever this bond money, the total dollars, I mean, this isn't gonna come out of like a parks budget, it's gonna be a citywide thing, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's, just so people understand it, this is, I mean, yes, it is gonna be a part of the parks, but, I think there's gonna be a lot more discussion on when it comes down to them showing us what this bond money is and what they think they need to get for that property.
Yeah, that'd determine purpose.
Yeah,
If we use,
so,
if we use CIP money, or it all depends on the value too.
sure.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, that's all I was wondering.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Lance.
Lance.
Okay, so that's the DOT portion here, so, Ryland, go ahead and let council know that we reviewed it. And, that's good, okay, all right, we've kind of talked about a lot of stuff here, go ahead, Lance.
Did you ask for a approval of that motion?
All those in favor of this motion, say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign.
I'm abstaining.
And Lance is going to abstain. Thank you, sir. All right. Did you hear my other motion where I did it right? I don't think you
Yes.
were
If I had video on, I would have a thumbs up.
on. I know, thank you. Okay. All right. Age Friendly Orinoco, tomorrow night, between 4 and 6, they're having what's called a listening session at the Presbyterian Church. So hopefully some people will attend and visit with people there. Kevin, do you have more to say about that?
No, there's, if I would have known, I'd have brought the list, and I don't know, trying to remember everything that's on there, but yeah, we're gonna have 5 or 6 different stations, and then we're gonna be sitting there, and then I think there's gonna be some kind of a presentation. And then people are just coming from the public, and they're gonna stop by and they're gonna look at each of our stations. We're gonna have a few different comments pertaining to each item, and people can give their input. And we've got some different suggestions, like, we're on parks, I'm on parks. Help covering parks there. And so there's a few different questions and detailing that, and then people could just stop by. I don't know, it was posted everywhere, so I'm hoping that we get the community's involvement. I see you're bailing on me, so I'm gonna be.
I'm not gonna be here, I know. Molly Brown will be around, so that'll be.
So, yeah, no.
So
it'll be
parks is one thing, housing was another,
another.
transportation.
Health,
Are you leading one, Ryland?
yeah,
Which one are you leading, the transportation one?
local government.
Oh, local government part. Okay,
And it's basically for, this age friendly is to get our community involved and letting the older generation know that we want to help in any way we can and make it easier for the people to age preferably, I mean, if they want, in their own homes versus trying to go to a different facility. And as we're finding out, and I guess I can be one of them, as being retired, the older I get, I mean, I want to stay in my home as long as I can. I'd rather not have to go to retirement home. And if it's possible, and through the age-friendly group, that's what we're trying to do, is make our community more age-friendly. Maybe have volunteers to go around and help the older people. They need maintenance done in their homes or yard work or odds and ends, all different kinds of things. And I won't take up a lot of time on it, but I think it's just it's an important thing, and it's not only for Orinoco. I mean, it's going across the country. It's age friendly. So.
yeah, and then the next event is gonna be Wednesday, April 24th, from 2 until 6 at the new facility Schoolhouse Events. And that's gonna be one where it's gonna kind of be like a round robin, and several businesses and agencies and nonprofits that work with older Americans, of which I am learning is 55 plus these days. So that's kind of exciting. But anyway, in Florida, there's a lot of places where you have to be 55 or over even to camp there,
My aunt lives in a community down there,
Right?
they have to be 55.
Which is
To live there.
right? Which is amazing that they've chosen, well, I guess I'm just showing my age because I'm getting really close to 55. I always thought it would be 65. Anyway, Ryland, do you have anything else we should add to age friendly? Is that good? Okay. All right, so Lance, we kind of already talked about the DNR grant for EAB when I say the planting of those trees, so those should kind of be in the same place. Dawn and I are working on the community center, and then the planters. Alice Park, we will have to do a communication, when it gets closer to the end of April. Lance, what's your take on garlic mustard? It's end of April or more into May?
Well, generally it has to be pulled out of the ground by June 1st. So
Okay,
April, May, whenever it starts to pop up and show.
right, okay. I mean, you can pull it when it's super small, but it's easier.
Well, yeah, it's a whole lot easier to identify as when it gets, a foot or two tall.
Okay, awesome. All right, and then for Orinoco Park, we talked about the sign already with Kristen, so that was what was on Orinoco Park. And then now I'm gonna turn it over to Ryland for music in the park.
So, he's passing out a summary of the groups, the dates, and the price for the different groups. We have three of the groups are from last year, plus we added a new one, which is LP and the 45s. That band plays 60s, 70s music. The main person I've been working with is the leader is from Orinoco, lives outside Orinoco in the township. And they're very excited about playing for the community. So June 2nd date worked best for them. $500 was quite a reduced rate from what they normally charge. But he really wanted to perform for the city and the residents, so we hope we have a good turnout for that as well. Turkberry Pie is a three-lady harmony group. Classic Brass Quintet, I think there's 5 of them. And all brass, and Uptown Jazz is a combination of horns and drums, and maybe, I don't know if they have a guitar or not, but they're very Uptown Jazz. Of the 3 Uptown Jazz, I'm not sure what the following is for LP and 45s, but I guess it's a pretty good size following. And Uptown Jazz would probably be another, that was one of our more popular ones last year too, and Turkberry Pie, so.
And Ryland, can you tell us where the funding would come from?
So in the budget, we allowed, we put in $2,500 for, either recreation or miscellaneous in a parks budget.
And Lance, this is adding up to 1,825.
Okay.
Under $1,900 for the bands. And so we have $2,500 that we can pull from
Right.
for this.
Yeah.
And I see they're all, so it's, Lance, it's June 2nd, June 16th, June 30, and July 28. So it's not as spread out as it was last year, but that's okay, or is it? I don't know,
Well, we just had these 3 groups,
right? So we have one more this year.
like every 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, because National Night Out is August what?
It's a, first week of August, whatever it is, yeah.
Tuesday, August.
First Tuesday in August?
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize because I'm not good at keeping up on everything. Are we having a gold rush? Or is that,
Yes,
we are having gold rush the 3rd week of August.
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, so August is busy, so that's good. Okay. All right, so, just to keep things moving, I guess I'm making all the motions, or does anyone else want to make a motion to bring this to council to approve to come out of our 2,500?
I will make a motion to send this to council for the $1,825 approval.
Okay,
second.
and Kevin will second. Fantastic. And Rylan, I understand that someone gave $100 to make sure.
One of the residents donated $100 towards music and park this summer, so it's $100 off of the 1,800, so
Yeah,
that was a resolution we passed at the March meeting.
yes,
Yeah, it's nice.
yes. But wait, that was included in your March city council
We had a resolution, yes,
to accept the $100?
$100.
But yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's, we,
So that could-
donations, we already have to have a resolution to adopt, so.
Yep,
Resolutions are not necessarily something that's read during the meeting. Is that accurate?
No, it's read and voted on.
Voted on them individually by each council person.
I feel like I missed that day.
It's called.
That's okay though. Okay, I was watching from afar, but I missed that part. Is that usually at the end?
I'm sorry?
Are resolutions usually at the end?
No, I think it'd be up through the whole, or usually under the agenda item, it was there.
Oh, all right, cool. Cause I know that you accepted the $500 from Wild Ones as well as a resolution.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Through too.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all of those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, sign. Okay, motion carries. Okay. Where are we next here? Previous lake bed trails, obviously, the newest trails won't be added, John, for a while. Right, okay, let's say Sweet Green, and then Garden Park, they're doing their best to get that. Like, that's part of, I apologize, I get the developers' names mixed up. There's Fitzgerald and Fitzpatrick. Right?
Yeah, because Patrick's got nothing to do with that.
Right,
Right.
because Patrick's the one that has to deal with my system, but Fitzgerald would be the one to make Garden Park look close to what it was, Fitzgerald. Is there a timeline for that?
I mean, I guess I don't really know what your. As far as I'm thought it was like, it's done right now. I mean, we're cleaning up. I burned some brush pile out there the other day, consolidated some piles and cleaned some stuff up. But I mean, it was hydro seeded last fall
Okay,
and it's, you know, they
So the
did some
parking-
light landscaping. They planted some smaller shrubs, trees back out there.
Thanks.
And,
all right, I haven't been over there for a while.
yeah, so,
Okay, so it's looking good.
right. If it comes out.
Maybe get some rain first.
Yeah,
I think we got that.
should get that for a little bit.
All right, okay, so it's in motion and it's looking good.
I think so.
See, fantastic. Okay, anything for River Park? This meeting?
No, we took care of a brush pile down there last week too, got rid of that, so, nice down there is,
Okay, at Carroll Cowden Park, do you see people using the disc golf stuff? Have you seen anyone?
I don't know, is that I've ever seen anyone playing disc whatever
golf?
disc golf.
I know,
But I don't get up there every day either, you know, I mean, I don't know.
yeah, I don't know how we would be able to determine that as well,
Probably be better off to ask some of the neighbors up there, yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Right.
cause I imagine it'd be in the evenings or possibly
Right.
the weekend.
That's true. Okay, Riverwood Hills Park, we talked last time about a dog park suggestion. When the septic or the sewer project, really is what I should say, is completed, but it's considered septic there right now. Although, did it get hooked up? Is it good, John?
I'll let Ryland handle that.
Oh, well, Ryland, is Riverwood Hills connected or not yet? It's
Well,
close.
not yet. There's two of the 5 that are connected now,
2 of the 5 are connected, fantastic.
finished. End of next week or the week after, within a week or 10 days.
Now, as a homeowner in that neighborhood, is Fitzpatrick expecting us to give them more money, or is that gonna just be worked out with the city? Or don't you know that part yet either? Right, if we paid up through March, now it's April, but, okay, thank you. I would imagine, and at this time, I wanna say at Memorial Park, let's just leave the sign grass. You guys good with that? We don't need to put any plants or anything like that at the City of Orinoco sign by Memorial
Oh,
Park.
okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, right, look at that new electronics.
Let's just leave that grass underneath the sign, don't you think, Brian? Instead of trying to plant any plants over there.
Oh, yeah, I think that'd be fine.
Now, I'm not so sure what's gonna happen out here. What do
We
you
gotta
think,
get that-
John?
That's on the radar to get cleaned up is kind of weather permitting, gonna get some.
Okay, so when it's cleaned up,
Okay.
maybe,
Yeah,
you or King could
start
let
over.
Dawn and I know and we can help you with that. Right?
Well, that's one of them that's gonna have flowers planted in it till we.
Yeah, that's what you guys approved. We could put some of the plants in there. I don't know how many perennials survived. All the stuff happening out there, but it's possible. So we'll see, right, John? There's a lot of perennials over there. We'll see what happens. Okay. Is there, when will the bluebird boxes go in?
I'll probably start putting them up this weekend.
Yeah, that's exciting. Awesome, they're here. Saw them in the field by me. I love it. Okay, how many are you gonna do?
I don't, I'm not 100% sure at the moment.
Between 3 and,
I want to put the other 2 out at Garden Park, so that'd be 3 there. And then I think I got 4 down at Orinoco Park, so hopefully 7.
nice. Awesome. All right. So our next meeting would be May 6th, 2024. Since I'm made lots of motions tonight, I may as well make this one too, so.
May 6th, you said?
Yeah, May 6th. So I make a motion to adjourn at 8:16.
Second.
Justin second, thank you. Lance, thank you so much for joining us on Zoom and
Okay.
favor say aye.
All right.
Hi.
Bye, bye.
Lance.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, all right. Okay, I know our meeting is closed. I just want to make sure I send the right things to council. Okay,